Welcome back to the Human Sunshine Podcast. I am your co-host, Brittany Maurer.
And I am Sunny Woodall.
I'm like hot and sweaty today. Sunny is feisty and she's got me sitting here all nervous.
Oh my goodness, I know. I'm in rare form today for sure.
I know. I'm like, I'm a little shell-shocked because I don't see you acting like this. So it has me hot. So I can only imagine what we're going to talk about today.
We'll find out.
Because I'm sweating.
Viewer discretion is advised. A lot of the topics that we're going to be discussing or have discussed are sensitive, to say the least, and could be triggering. Everything from physical abuse, substance abuse, kids, a lot of things that need to be told and are part of the story, but could be a little bit sensitive to listen to.
This is our third podcast now.
Yep.
We've unpacked a lot about just things that have happened to you in your life and the abuse that you've dealt with. Today, I kind of want to like shift focus a little bit and talk more about like your exit strategy for people that are in this situation, like steps that you took to get out of the situation, current events and things like that. A main topic that I do want to bring up though is like technology, because that is a huge, it's a beast.
It's my worst enemy.
But like how technology was used against you in a form of abuse with tracking and shutting you out of things and locking you out of accounts and changing of phone numbers and how it can really be like weaponized.
Yes.
So can you tell me like more about like what you experienced in that? And then we can talk about like how we stop that from happening if that's currently happening.
When you're dealing with somebody who's close to you, who, they know every single weakness of yours. That is like, this is a huge one with me. Technology. It's just not my thing. Like, I never want it to be. It just isn't. And, that was known. I will say that first and foremost, like, just get better at it. Honestly, because you can't always have someone do it for you. Like, this is what I would tell my kids one day. Like, don't expect someone to do it. Even you, like, you helped me so much with it, but it's like, you have to kind of like figure shit out on your own. It is difficult, and the roadblocks you and I were seeing, even you were like, what the heck is happening here? It's mind blowing. I let people, into my social media and run it and things like that. So yes,
people had logins and passwords.
I mean, and that's unfortunate, because when that gets used against you, you are, stuck. So I would say the first thing would be changing my phone number that I've had since, I don't know if I had that number clear back to high school, but definitely college. So for 25 years or so, the same number that I've always had was just changed one day. I mean, just completely changed. And okay, that's fine. You can get a new phone number. And I did. He wanted me to get on like his business partner's plan, and probably so they could monitor all that too. I declined that and got my own phone number, which was hard enough in itself because it's like a brand new number. And then at that point, my Apple ID was already changed. So I couldn't like do anything. So, but I have
what was the explanation of like why he wanted you to get a new phone number?
Yes. So the explanation I was told was that he couldn't pay the bill. However, he did hand me like an envelope of $8,000 like 2 weeks later, it just, all of it just didn't make sense. But at the time, you're like, I didn't even like correlate those things together. Like, clearly he was pretending like he didn't have money, but he did.
Right. Because it's like, if you're giving me a new phone number, you're still going to have to pay for that new phone number. But if you can't pay for the old number, how are you going to pay for the new number?
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Right. And by the way, I gave that $8,000 back shortly after. But so when my phone number got changed, I was just told. I was just, this is your new number and it's under this person's account with him on it too. And, I did find out there was someone else on that account as well, a friend of a friend. It just was so odd. The bigger problem with your number being changed, first of all, no one can find you because they don't have your number. But bigger than that, what you and I ran into was, now it's like when you go to social media, you're like, why am I locked out of all these accounts? Why can I not get into any of this stuff?
Oh, yeah.
And all of them were like, we just sent a code to this number. Well, that's not my number anymore. But I'm assuming that number was kept on for some amount of time. And those codes were going to that phone because it was probably still active. And, for me, you know how I operate. I'm very like, I just shut down. It's like, I don't even want to deal with this. This is scary. I don't know what to do. So I'm just going to shut up and not say anything. And that's okay because I took this like year or so of silence and just focused on the kids. I can't deal with social media and bullshit like that and run into like all these roadblocks. Once I found out that you were running into roadblocks, I was like, if Brittany can't do this, like, what am I going to do? Hire someone? I have no money. Like, I can't do that. So that I would say was the biggest. I just felt like I was in the big picture. I was like cut off at the knees so that I couldn't fight at all. Like not fight, like vengeful fight, but like I really couldn't like stand up or say anything because it was almost like I was being deleted from life. And then to see on like my Instagram, all these people are like blocked. Well, I didn't block these people. And then, they don't know my phone number. So it's just a mess. It's a total mess. And
well, even like emails, it was, we couldn't get in
anything
to email addresses because everything nowadays requires 2-factor authentication. And it's like, if you don't have that device anymore, we couldn't even get into things to like deactivate things so other people couldn't get access.
And to this,
or codes that we needed to create new accounts wouldn't come
to, they would go to the old number. And it was even like, I remember being at your house one time and it was like, how this happened. I don't know if you remember, it was on your laptop and it like pinged where I was living with him. Like no one even knew we were there.
If you're currently going through this situation of like technology abuse, you need to get a new phone number so that person cannot contact you anymore. That is like your first step, and get a new device.
Yeah. Well, I ended up doing that way later.
Everything. Do not use the same email addresses. Do not use the same passwords. Do not use the same Apple ID. I kept telling her, I'm like, you need to switch because I can't even figure this out. Stop using Apple and go to an Android. Like, because if I can't even figure out how to put roadblocks in for your safety, then you need to just completely wipe the slate clean and like get new devices, because there could be tracking devices on your phones, and I'm sure that there were.
I'm sure, I remember when I lived in Fallbrook, when I still had that old number, dude, I was like, in Fallbrook, I had nothing. Like it was just, obviously I'm not living close to clients and things like that, but my phone number, the old number, was blowing up like daily with clients, because that number, 714-290-4191, was connected to my business. And I built my business that way because I wanted my actual cell phone, that if for some reason Carla wasn't at the front or someone wasn't at the front, that my phone would ring to me so that I was responsible. At least I can know like who needs something, and then I can like let the front desk know.
Good customer service.
Always. It was like, I want to be on 24/7 all the time. So when my number got cut off, like I said, it just cut me off at the knees. Like, and at the time I was so in it and I didn't realize what was happening. Even like talking to a district attorney is like, we've been trying to get in touch with you for like over a year. You're hard to find. And I tell her, well, he changed my number of 25 years, and they're like shocked. Like, oh, that makes total sense. Well, it does make sense. And it did for him then, because he needed to. Because he didn't want me in contact with these important people. Yeah. And that set me back too.
And that goes too with like the whole abuse is one of the biggest things that an abuser does is isolation. And taking away somebody's phone number is like taking away somebody's identity, because it's like, that's how people know how to get a hold of you and get in touch with you. So it's like, when you take that away, it is, you're now completely isolating them from the world, or people reaching out to them to get in touch with them, even for safety reasons, not just your business, but just friends and family. And it's like, no one can get a hold of you now.
Not at all. And that's why with you, right away, it was like, we're putting your number riders on tracker. Like, you could track me all day long. You can track my son all day long. Yeah. Because
we have safety measures now in place with each other.
And you do that. And how often do I call you? I'm like, dude, where's Ryder's phone? Like, please. Like, we found it, by the way. But first of all, people, don't ever let someone have that much control over you.
Yeah, that much access to.
So much access, but control. And I know my situation, like it chipped away and got me there. But when someone has complete control over you in every way, your faith, your finances, your emotions, your love, your everything, like everything is just tied to one person, and then the little tiny things that you're seeing, you kind of overlook, or you overlook them because you're like, there's no way. But obviously there's a way. If this person is like kicking me on the floor and hitting me in the face, there's probably a way he's going to do that too.
Yeah.
But you just don't piece it together that way. I kind of just went with it, you know, and it was always like, well, this will be okay. We'll just make it okay, you know?
Well, and even with the whole phone thing, like he would shut things off that you couldn't even have access to. Like he would like leave you stranded somewhere. You would call me and I would have to order you an Uber because you're like, he's locked me out of my Uber account. I can't even order a ride because I'm now locked out of my account to even
That's interesting
get a ride.
about Uber. He controlled that account too. It was just a sure way that he knew where I was all the time. Again, the people that knew me before, it's like, there's no way Sunny is this dumb. I was more naive and just, I don't think that my mind could comprehend that this was like bad being done to me. You just don't want to see it.
Yeah.
And that's true. Like you just don't want to see it. But the truth is it's happening. And if you don't put a fucking stop to it, you're going to be in huge trouble.
Yeah.
Little by little, your identity starts to just go away. And with that comes, you know, your confidence. My confidence went away. So could I have been this whole time like posting a million pictures on what was I going to post then? That I'm like struggling through this time, you know, trying to heal the kids, get the kids situated. Like, what am I going to post that I'm super happy? I'm not going to do that because that wouldn't be real. And that wouldn't be who I am.
I do want to bring up too, like check your belongings because we found a tracking device in your son's backpack. Do you remember that?
No.
You don't remember that?
No. What? In Ryder?
Yes. You came to my house and you're like, Britt, what is this? I found it in Ryder's backpack. And I used Google Lens to take a picture of it.
Remember this.
And I was like, Sunny,
Yes.
this is a tracking device. I know I got
this
chills
now.
talking
That
about it
gives me
because it
chills
was
right
like,
now.
you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
So it's like you
God, that's so
in these
crazy.
situations have to be so safe and like set up safety precautions. Like one of the first things that you and I did was like set up safety protocol with each other. I remember like even when you were still with him, we had like code words. It was like, you call me and say, hey, when are you coming to get your hair done?
Yes, I remember
I
this.
would know.
Yep.
Because, and for him, he wouldn't think anything of it. He would just say, oh, they're making an appointment.
Right.
But I would know if you're calling me to book an appointment for my hair, you're not safe.
Right.
And I need to
Make sure that
make
there's
phone calls and find out.
at the time, like I'll be honest with you now, I for sure was like, Brittany is so crazy. Why do I have to do this? But no, because looking back, all of the things that you were putting roadblocks for me in place not to go backwards. And if I didn't have you then with those things, like the potential of me going backwards was highly likely. I mean, given the history. So that was so helpful. I didn't know at the time, but yeah, like looking back and with the kids too, it was just anything that you could do to make sure that like things were safe and you knew exactly what was going on.
Someone needs to know the truth to help you stay safe. And like another thing we did was we were all on Life 360.
Yeah,
I love that app.
Love it.
We know where each other are at all times, even in the event of an emergency. It's like if she doesn't answer her phone, I'm like, where are you? Are you at home? What are you doing?
You want to know what's funny about that? He was able to track everything I was doing, show up at my work, show up at
he
anywhere
would
I was.
never share his location.
He would
with you.
like I didn't ask, but it's like never.
Yeah.
So again, that might be a red flag for someone. When you're looking at a situation,
if your loved
like
one's
I don't
not
know.
willing to share that, then they're probably hiding something.
Or if they don't off like the way it's like not a family thing. It doesn't seem like this is a two-way thing. It's like you want to know where I'm at, but we don't know where you are, and you know that's hard.
I do want to bring up now, like things that happen with the kids, and just like the emotional damage that
We created.
everything that had happened kind of created. And how your kids are so opposite about how they handle like what they've been through.
They are completely opposite, but for some reason I just feel like the need to say the especially Gia, like the strength that girl, and it's like I always knew when she was little, like she was tough, but I just knew this girl is going to be your strength one day. And that could not be more true. Now I know like PTSD is so much more real. Like all these stupid words that people used to say, like triggered and gaslighting and PTSD and trauma. I was like, these people are so dramatic. When people would talk that way, or if I would hear people on like an Instagram talk that way, I'm just like, oh my God, just get over it, move on. And oh my God, those things are so beyond tangibly real. The trauma that I see my daughter go through is the exact trauma that I feel like I went through. And Ryder deals with it differently, but I feel like it's the same, you know? But watching Gia have the episodes that she had, it's the same thing that happened to me as far as the abandonment seems huge with her. And it's awful to see a little girl go through that, because I know I'm responsible for half of that with her, because I was so focused on him rather than her at times.
Right.
And healing that is so important to me with Gia. And I mean, she's like come so far.
Yeah.
But like when we were with you in the beginning, it was like she would run. I mean, this little 7-year-old bolting out of the house running. Like, where are you running to? You're running across the street. This is crazy. And it's panic and it's scary. And
not just from my house, but from like
Anywhere.
public
I was gonna
places,
say
like on
park-
busy streets,
yes.
at parks.
that was very scary.
Like dangerous situations.
That's what I was referring to. And that scared the shit out of me. And you can't like contain it. You know, you can't contain it. And so here you are on the floor with Gia, like, you know, you have to contain it because we have to keep her safe.
Right.
But also the way you can speak to her and the way we let her know on a daily basis, like more than once a day, every day. And I still do today. Like, it does not matter what you do. Like, mommy is not leaving you. Like, no one is leaving you. No matter what you do, no one is leaving you.
Yeah.
Those things in Gia, and I'll never tell her like how I felt, you know, because she doesn't need to know, she's a kid. But I felt the same way. I felt the same way. You don't know what to do and you feel like this person is leaving you and you're scared. The amount of times my husband left, not only me, but the kids and I stranded places is absolutely outrageous. No phone, no keys, what are we supposed to do? We just have to wait in this spot that you dropped us off in, whether it's raining or it's super hot sun, it doesn't matter. We have to wait in this spot, because if we move, how are you going to find us? How are we ever going to find you? And you have my son trying to find you on the street. It's absolute insanity.
Yeah.
So this chaos brought in trauma and PTSD, and this like we're scared, you know. Yeah. So to deal with that with kids in the aftermath, it is difficult, and I'm very careful. I mean, you know how I am. I'm very careful in our home life. Like, I just don't talk about it. I don't talk about like anything negative at all with that. If they were to bring something to me, we can open that. But I just don't, because I don't really know where it will lead. In therapy, they do, and Gia tends to shut down a bit. But I think healing them takes a lot of love. And I think this whole situation, when you're starving someone for affection or love, just to do it, to punish them, I think is like one of the most cruel things possible. So for our children, like, I don't do that to them. I will overflow with love and nurture them in every way, because they deserve that, and they need to be filled up with love and praise and adoration and all those things that they deserve, because they didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
They didn't ask for any of it. We did it.
The best way to describe like how Gia would act, it was like when a bull sees red.
Right.
It was like something clicked in her head, and she went from like 0 to 1,000, and it was like hyperventilating and just complete chaos, and eyes bugged out. Like, it was like she was
a different person,
for lack of better words, like possessed by just anger and rage. And I feel like when these kids are in this situation, like you and I have talked about this a lot, it was like their expectation of your response dealing to their response is usually anger is met with anger.
We don't do that.
And we would come in with a completely different approach. And it was like we met anger with love.
Yep.
And it in those moments, you could just kind of see in her eyes, confusion.
Yes.
Yes. It was
Mad
like
confusion.
She's like, what do you mean? Or sometimes, you know, she'd scream, I'd scream at her back, but not like screaming, yelling. It would be like, she'd be like, ah, and I would be like, ah, like silly screaming back at her. It was like meeting like the screaming with like silly.
Yes.
And she'd get so confused. I'm like, you want to yell? Oh, I can yell too. And
that.
It wasn't like I'm yelling at her. Yeah. It's like I'm showing her, like mirroring her behavior, and it like kind of triggered something else. And there were moments where I'd be on the ground with her, bear hugging, getting bit, getting hit. And I was like, I love you. Mm-hmm. I love you. Yep. Calm down. Mm-hmm. Take a deep breath with me. Breathe, Gia. Because she would hyperventilate so bad. I'm like, you're going to pass out. You're going to make yourself sick. Like, just breathe. And then she would calm down.
So many things as you're describing, and I know we were in your kitchen like that one.
Yeah, the bad time.
Exactly when you're talking about, and it's so weird how like memories, like talking, it will bring you right back. Which is for me, it is like even doing this, having this platform, it's like feels good, but it's hard sometimes because I'm going through all the lost stuff too. It's like I'm having to relive a lot of moments that were really difficult that I didn't know a way out of. Yeah. And that moment in particular with Gia, when you were describing the way she looks and acts, instantly I see my husband. It's something different. It triggers.
She's upset and then you're upset because you're seeing like
it's a
realization
I'm seeing
and fear.
Right. I get to I'm go into fear. Yes. Which is great that I had you there because I was like, I'm not equipped at the moment to handle this too, because I mean the world knows I am afraid of my daughter. She's like she's a beast. Like she's a total beast, but I love her to death. But in those moments, like I saw this little girl who just needed exactly what we were giving her, and I don't know that I would have been able to even think that way, like how you were doing that, and you did, and you were like, son, you were like telling me you were like I was like a bad kid, like I know, and I'm like you were, like I'm like I can't imagine, because I was not, I was like the I was not like that. It was hard for me to understand, but also when you're talking. I see Ryder and Ryder with his hands up and no, mommy, it's loud. You know, this poor kid who is sweet as like, oh my God, the driven snow, like just the sweetest kid on the planet.
He's more the turtle. Like he just like wanted to curl up in his shell and just like hide from everything.
Yeah. And that was really hard to watch Ryder have to deal with his sister freaking out and losing it. I can just say this to somebody. If you have children in this situation, like, you got to get the fuck out. Yeah. I'm telling you got to get out because if you don't, the long-lasting effects that this could have on a child, it will change them. Oh, yeah. And to work so hard now to like heal them and change them back, and like really, truly, it is like love. Like the love will always find you in like pain, right? Like, but kids don't know that because they're kids. Yeah. But we know that now. Yeah. So the more love you give, like the pain ultimately will subside. I will say, as you know, I mean, I left this marriage with absolutely nothing. No furniture. I maybe had a couple clothes. Like, I left with the most important thing, which is Ryder and Gia. Yeah. And I don't care about all the material stuff. I wanted them and I needed to be with them to be able to fix or help this situation in them, because it's deep. It's deep for all of us. Oh, yeah. But we couldn't have done it. We could not have done it without you guys at all. And you especially just jumped in, and Travis too, dude. I always say Travis, he's like, run out the door.
He'd be like, I'll get her.
He's
like, I'll be back.
I'm on it. And I'm like, how is this family completely just surrounding us with all this love and strength and faith and wisdom?
It like makes me emotional.
No, because it's invaluable. Yeah, I know you know now, but like if you knew at the time, like it was something different that I have never experienced. Like,
neither had I. I mean, I was a jerk kid, like, but never like that. It's like the things that we were experiencing with like you and Ryder and Gia, it was like even new to me. I remember we had a hard conversation and I was like, I love you, son, but I don't know if we can do this. I know. It was like, I don't know if we can even get through this together as a team. But like when things weren't getting better, they were getting worse, and the outbursts were getting worse, and the violence towards her brother even, and you in cars and driving. I was like, this is becoming like unsafe. Like I feel like we may not even be able to protect her from herself, that like she may have to go somewhere. Like not like ship her off, but like send her to like a therapeutic 24/7 round the clock therapy inversion. And it was like, I feel like once we kind of thought about that, it was almost like God came in and was like, shifted. I'm so glad that you are recognizing that like you may have to do something because that is hard. Like having those conversations is hard. But then he was like, I'm glad that you said that, but now let me give you the strength.
When Gia was doing that, the first thing I thought of was, they're going to take these kids from me. Yeah. Because it's going to look like I'm not doing my job. Yeah. And I was fucking doing my job.
Yeah, we had
but there was a lot of work to do. Yes. And I don't know that like people understand that. There is just so much work to do with children. Oh yeah. That makeup time that I had to like recalculate and rewire in myself, but ultimately them. And I would freak out in those moments. Like, I don't know what, I can't touch her.
Like,
I don't know what to
sit
do.
There quietly because you're like, I can't have the cops called on me right now because she's like, it looked like we were abducting her.
That's why I was like,
she would be screaming at the top of her lungs that if any normal person looked at us,
like we were child abusing,
they would be like, they're like stealing this person. And we were trying to do the opposite. We're like, just get in the car, calm down, be quiet.
Like let's try and figure this out. It was like, holy shit, like we can't contain this. And this is going to look really bad. So my mind, in the beginning, my mind would always go there because it doesn't matter what it is. It's what it like. This is what it looks like, and we're just trying to help this little girl
handle big emotions that no kid at that age should have to be experiencing.
Absolutely not.
She didn't get it. She would think, oh, if I act like this, they're just going to leave and leave me alone. And we did the complete opposite. And it really, I think, healed her little heart, knowing that like, like hit me, bite me, scratch me, do whatever you want, beat me up. If that's what it's going to take for you to like get your little anger out, and then like, let's hug it out afterwards. Yep.
I do believe getting them also helped getting them very grounded was, me staying grounded. And you, I think I mentioned last time how you just put me in that like alpha program at church. And I was like, what the fuck? What is she doing? Like, why do I need to?
Yeah. Well, I'm like, if you're going to live with me for a bit, I mean, you weren't actually living there, but you were.
But being in that series taught me so much. And, it was really hard and like crying through it all the time and just not understanding what was going on. But it definitely got me the strength to be able then to like make sure. And I always had, even my stepkids, church was always a part of our life, but this was different. Yeah. I needed to like ground them in their faith. Like this is the only way. Oh yeah. And to find strength there. And I can see with Gia, even last night, she's, always like making me cards, like, God loves it. Just so sweet. And Ryder too. Like, so I know that was part of God's plan and we followed. And I'm just so glad that we did.
It was the biggest thing was getting them back in a routine. Humans in general are such creatures of habit. And so when you change things or routines, it really spins your mind in like a tailspin. And so it was like, it was getting back into structure and routine and, positivity and love. It was like a whole mind reset for them too. Like if people met Gia today, they would have no idea. She's a completely different kid. Is she fully healed? No. That's not what we're saying. No. She still has her moments. It's like, her moments may be a little bit more extreme than most kids because she's still has that like built-in instinct of like going from 0 to 1,000. But she's learned to control them so much more.
For sure.
Let's bring up Ryder, because now we've talked about Gia, and Ryder was complete opposite. Ryder, like I said, he was like the turtle in this situation. And I feel like for him, it's like Gia was like outward dangerous, and I feel like the turtles of the world are like inward dangerous because they internalize everything and they're so quiet. But man, does it weigh so much heavier on their little hearts because they don't have the type A personality to open up and express how they're feeling. So they just internalize it until like
it's too
much and then they explode.
Ryder is such a like intuitive kid. You know, I do like so much for him. So I feel like ultimately he could probably do more for himself, but like I just do everything for that kid because I feel like he deserves it. He will like marinate with things a bit, and then like it happened last night, and I don't know, it could be school. You know, I'm always like, what happened at school? But I can just tell, you know, I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, do you want to go on a walk? So we try to do like things like that where it's just
like one-on-one,
you know, it's just like, you're just a kid. It's just a kid, you know, and it's like, tell me about your day.
Yeah.
Like,
let's decompress. Like, let's chat.
What's up with this girl? Who did this or who stole the basketball from you?
Spill the tea.
Spill the tea. That's it. And I always tell him like, tell me what's up. Like, so I think approaching the kids that way is good. And I'm also showing that what they're feeling is so important to me because it is. And I can always, especially with Ryder, I mean, that kid is like my, you know, he's my heart. I just adore him. And I do feel like I can feel him a little bit, like a lot of it. It's important to check in with your kids all the time. And when you're so involved in whatever else is going on, you don't. And I think that's a huge regret of mine is, you know, I'm like so focused on this thing, and this thing is a complete disaster that I didn't focus as much on them. Right. You know, and that is a huge regret. And I didn't see it at the time. And now I have the opportunity to completely in every way and individually help these kids and heal these kids. And they're going to have their days where they fall and things are going to happen. Like yesterday, Ryder got written up for something and, you know, he was bummed and, you know, we get over it. But then I explain, like, don't you dare go in there and say it wasn't your fault. Like, here's now where we take accountability for what we did and we just don't do it again. Yeah. I mean, this is like what I'm teaching my kids, because if I don't teach them that, they'll continue thinking that they're invincible and nothing will happen. And that's just not the way life is.
Yeah. Yeah. Even my daughter, you don't even know this yet because I haven't told you because it just happened. She like shoved her friend at school and like might have broke her arm.
Shocking.
Like, so, you know, they got in a little tiff at the water fountain and Charlotte's like, I got there first, and her friend came up and like was trying to cut and get her water, and like Charlotte like kind of nudged her like, I'm here, I'm filling up my water bottle, and her hand, like the other girl's hand, was like kind of caught in like the drinking fountain spigot or whatever, and like kind of just like tweaked it a little bit. So she's got like a little soft cast, and this is Charlotte's like bestie, like her sister.
Also, I'm just like thinking of Charlotte, your daughter. Like, I'm like, Charlotte, are you sure it wasn't Gia?
Her head went straight to like, she's never gonna want to be my friend anymore, and like our kids are so vulnerable. Like,
absolutely,
it's like I had to explain to her like accidents happen. Yeah. It's the intention behind every action that you have that is the most important thing in life. Right. Charlotte, did you mean to hurt her? Yes, you meant to shove her. Right. Because that was a physical action that you intended to do, but your intent was to move her out of the way, not to hurt her. Right. So it's like, it's all these teachable moments for our kids that it's like, yeah, your intention behind your actions is the most important thing in life. And when you do something wrong, you need the accountability and the lesson behind it is far more powerful than you making a mistake.
Yeah. My kids have been through a lot and they have seen a lot. And, you know, I can never really forgive myself for that, because that is my part too. There were so many times that I knew in my heart, I just knew in my gut, like, if you stay, like, this is going to turn out worse. But for some reason, I could not listen to that higher voice. I just couldn't. And that is where, like, you got to have a support system. I'm telling you, if you don't, it is like trouble, because you cannot, I couldn't even listen. Obviously, I could not listen to myself. Self was making the worst decisions. Yeah. The worst. Yeah. And so when yourself is making the worst decisions and you have children, unfortunately, you're screwed. And if you're always looking to someone else that maybe you can't trust anymore, that's a problem. Now, my intuition was always right. My intuition, my gut, my faith, it was always, I just had to like tap into it and remember what it was.
Cut out all the other noise.
Cut out the noise. This whole last year, I cut out the noise, and I feel like that was God telling me to do that. And I had to. Yeah. Because I need to focus on the most important voices of all, which are Ryder and Gia.
Yeah. So for the listeners that are going through everything. I think the biggest advice that we could give them with like kids is like, get your kids in therapy, stat.
Yep.
Get them in therapy, love bomb them in the correct way.
Yeah.
And tough it out.
You just got to tough it out.
You just got to tough it out.
And I will say, with toughing it out with someone like Gia, you know, because they're so opposite. Ryder, I just like hold, you know, and he'll melt, you know. But Gia, yeah, she's like a bull.
We called her a feral kitty.
She's a feral kitty.
That was her nickname
for sure.
I found this video on Instagram, and it was this cat that was acting absolutely crazy, and the person just kept petting it, until it stopped acting crazy, and then it like turned to love, and it was like that resonated with her so much. It was like in those moments, they want to be loved.
They want to be loved, and you have to just keep pushing with it. And that is so important with kids, because like, you know, they have their own memory bank of what they've dealt with. It's like me, Ryder, and Gia all have our own banks of like what was happening and how it happened and what we saw or whatever. And
with them
all deal with
being
it differently.
So little too, you don't even realize how, like, even when they're like 3, like subconsciously the things that they remember, we don't even know. It's like so much deeper. And it may come out
later, who knows? And that's why it's so important to walk this line of being like their sole parent.
And you're teaching them more independence too, because I feel like you going through your marriage had none. So it's like kind of instilling in them the importance of, being independent. Like, yes, you need community and you need family and you need structure and you need all those things, but you also need to learn how to stand on your own 2 feet.
100%. And I also knew always that I was a good mom. And I think that was trying to be kind of like sucked from me too. And I wasn't going to allow that to happen. God was not going to allow that to happen. But for so long, when you're told, you know, you're dumb, you're all these things for so long, it's wild, because you see that in movies, like, or you hear about it, and it's like, how can someone really start to believe that they're dumb? Like, it is possible. It is possible for someone like me, who was very smart, went to college, like has all these accolades in life. Like, I am smart, but I can tell you with certainty that I felt very, very dumb, very powerless. All those things. And I think that was meant to happen. And you don't see it until you're out of it, and you really look back and go, holy shit, I just completely gave up all my independence. And now what? You know, and yes, I owned businesses that were great and successful. And I also had a very great manager that was, you know, to this day, I adore her, that kept it moving, you know, and did a lot of things that I didn't. So I think as a parent, you really have to just dig deep and know your kids, know what's going on with everything. And you really do have to like find it within yourself, the strength to make the right decisions. And that's the other thing. We're not always going to make the right decisions. I'm still going to make mistakes. And my kids need to know that too. Like things aren't going to be perfect every day.
Yeah. Let's talk about Laura's house and how that played like a huge role. Like I can't even put into words like the type of resource that are available to people that are in that situation to help you get past like what you were going through, and the kids.
Yeah. So Laura's house they have 2 locations. One is in Garden Grove. The other one is a little more South County. Laura's house is like a domestic violence. It's a shelter. It's also therapy. It's like
it's a recovery center. It's like the best way to describe it.
Yeah, and yes, they handle children. I can only say that was God, because it came up like in court that I needed to like look to a domestic violence place, and I don't even know if I Googled it. I have no idea how I found it now. I guess God was just like, here you go, and I did. And holy cow, that place like single-handedly changed everything. That is when, like, you probably noticed a difference. It was small at first, but they like had me go through these domestic violence classes, and I'm like talking to my husband on the phone outside, like, I have to go into this class. Like, Daddy's like, don't tell them anything. Like, don't say. So I was still very much in this like, okay, I can't talk. Every time I had a therapist, I wasn't allowed to tell them anything. It was like, well, how am I ever going to get better if I can't like say what's going on here? That place, when I first got in there, I was in a group session. And it was all women, I believe, and a woman teacher. But like what would happen was I was sitting next to the instructor So I would be the last one, and we had like a piece of paper, and it would just say on there like describe an act, I don't know what, a violent act that happened, I don't know. And they would start on one side and I would be the last one. And I'm listening to like 9 people's descriptions of what they considered violence. I was like in disbelief that this person would call this violence. This is where I feel like God put that place in my life for a reason. I would have never, I didn't know we had to read those things out loud. So I'm telling you, God picked my seat. He told me what to, but I was just writing an act or something that happened. And when it got to me, I cannot tell you how disturbed the other people were in the class. And I'm like, I have to read this. And the instructor's like, you just have to read it to the class. So after like 3 times of this class, then the instructor pulled me aside and was like, do you have an exit strategy? And I'm like, no, like, what do you mean? And she's like, you have to come in for an exit, like plan strategy. You know, and I was just like, these people are so dramatic. This is ridiculous.
Well,
Absolutely
not only that, but you this whole time kept telling yourself that what you were going through was nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like it still hadn't even clicked in your head, like how dangerous the situation was that you were actually in.
It did not click in my head until Laura's house. I can say that with 100% honesty, certainty. I know for sure none of this clicked until I was there and started hearing the other things that people were considering abuse. These people's like significant others are like going away for like 10 years for like, what? I'm like, this is wild. But my safety and my kids' safety, that became high profile. Like, this is serious now. And then they put me with like this kick-ass therapist, Dana, who actually came up with the name Human Sunshine and gave me that like drawing of that. And I was with her once a week, and she really pulled it out of me. And at that point I left. I was able to leave that situation, and I knew I was leaving on the day after Christmas. That was the last time I was going to see you as us together. And from that moment on, I was like I'm like in this therapy. I'm going to figure out my mind, my heart. We're going to fix all this, and I'm going to heal these kids. Like, it took all of me to be able to like try and pick myself up and do that. But Laura's house, I don't have enough to say about that place.
And Laura's house isn't incredible. The only place.
No,
so
it's
like
not. There's
if you're listening and you're not in, the OC area, California, they're all over the country. The main goal is to keep you safe and keep these abusers away from you. It's almost like you're going into witness protection.
Kind of. That's like that. Well, I was just telling that DA that I'm like, we've kind of been in hiding the last year. Like, I don't know how he has my address because we don't give it out. My parents don't have it, but okay. Yeah. But anyway, Laura's house is great, and they were great for the kids as well. So I put the kids there immediately. Now the kids have like regular therapists, but my therapist just knew the things to ask me and the ways to help. And without me even telling her, she just, because this is what they deal with. So they know, they understand all of it. And kind of just like brushing it off and all that was not an option anymore. It was like, this is real. Yeah. This is happening. And this is why you're in this situation that you're in.
And here are the steps to get out.
Yeah, I don't know if I have time, but I did want to just like mention, I know people are going to do what they want to do, but I with 100% certainty would say, don't pick up a drink, because all that does is make you weaker. And that's what it did for me.
It doesn't give you mental clarity.
Zero. I couldn't have been more clouded. And all I did was keep running back during that time. It was not until I like I was like, no more drinking because I need to be clear-headed. And then it was like 5 months later is when I walked away. So I feel like those two things kind of go hand in hand. You've got to get stronger. You've got to have support around you. You definitely can't be messing around drinking or anything like that. And you've got to have a faith. You have to have a lot of strength around you that will carry you through it.
And then life now, you're getting a divorce.
Yeah.
You're completely separated from him, no communication. Even you have put safety measures in place and you have supervised visits.
Yeah, and I didn't ask for this. I never asked for a restraining order. The judges did this for me. I didn't ask for this custody. The judge did this on my behalf. I'm pretty sure they all thought I was going to like walk right back and mess it up, but I didn't. I stuck to it. On paper, it is 2 hours supervised visit for him per month. And so I just follow that to a T, and that's what it is. And I have no plan in changing that at all. And I believe maybe a lot of things that like he didn't think people would know about, they're going to know now because this is going to protect my kids too. So your 2 suicide attempts and the third one with me in the car when you tried to kill both of us in the car on the way to that testimony, those things matter. And those are the reasons why I don't feel okay with my children with you alone. And that's okay. Because a year ago, I would have never said that. But now my kids need me to protect them in every way. So you can fight with every dollar that you have, but you're going to have to kill me. I'm not getting support from this person in any way. And that's okay too. That's okay too. But what I will do is fight with the resources that I have and that I've learned that I can. And I'm fighting like a very clean, honest battle. This is just for them.
We've talked a lot about what has happened, but like the situation is still current. Like you do have full custody of your kids. There's protection orders in place, but like it's not over. Like what is advice for people that are still in it right now? And like, how are you dealing with what's going on?
Advice I would give is just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And just do the right things.
Report everything too. Write everything down. Like that is what we've come
that is what
to realize.
I never did was
don't delete shit.
Don't delete
Stop deleting text messages and phone records and thinking that like those things aren't of value because when you finally have the strength to walk away or you need to press charges against somebody that has hurt you, like you need all that documentation and evidence to help you.
And that is so yes, please listen to Brittany because that is so true. And I did not do that. It's okay. It's okay. Like,
you can't change the past.
I can't change the past. And it's like I said, I feel like God sees everything, so it's okay. But yes, just protect yourself as much as you can. Don't give people so much access to things. And if you have anything is like happening that you kind of think like this doesn't seem right, or definitely anyone is putting their hands on you in a way that like probably isn't like isn't right, like you need to do something because
you need to report it. Like as difficult as that is, like you have to go to the police station and you need to file a report.
It is so difficult and it's so embarrassing. And at the time, like I said, I never was like this dramatic girl. So I didn't want to do any of that. But looking back, hell yeah.
Especially if you have kids, because like we're learning now, if you would have gone and done all the reports and gotten him in trouble, it would have made it easier for you to protect your children because then the courts know what type of person this is.
For sure.
And obviously they're going to know they're not going to want these children to be around this.
Right. And they like ultimately saw
such a broken system. You have to report these things, start a paper trail and protect your children.
Yeah. I completely did not do that at all. I didn't report anything. And so to get kicked in the stomach on the floor with a golf club, whatever it is or whatever it was, you're just left there in this moment like, I don't really know if I can walk, like we're gonna have to like hide this in some way or like forget about all the bruises. It's just even that hitting me in the face in the hotel with the kids present, like this is happening so close to the kids, and like there's a court of law, there's a system in place, there's protocol, okay. But like when I live in Corona and I got hit in the face in Anaheim, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was supposed to drive back with my children and like report this shit in Anaheim. So that like got me tangled up too, and he knew all that. So to see these court reports and like how he was able to go to San Bernardino and all these different counties and like put all this shit in place, like I just didn't know. But looking back, you just have to be ready to go, like ready to leave. You have to have a plan in place. That's what I would tell someone. Get your shit together.
Document everything. Take pictures. Send them to a trusted person so that you have evidence. And, just know, too, that the statute of limitations for domestic violence is long in a lot of states. Like, it could be years later that as long as you have, like, proper documentation, like you can still go and press charges on people and get protective orders in places and protect yourself and your kids. So just know that like, even if it's been a while, like and you can still protect yourself and do the right thing.
Yes, definitely. What I've learned in going through so much court, the first thing I would tell anybody, like I tell you this all the time and I'm dead serious about it. If it is not said on record, it did not happen.
Right.
So your voice absolutely needs to be heard. And you need to make sure that it's heard, because I did not do that.
Oh yeah.
And
And
if it-
police reports.
All of
Read
it.
them.
Read
Make
them.
sure everything that has happened was included in the
And
police
if it's
report.
not,
And if
then
it's not,
fix it.
you go
Yeah.
do it immediately,
Right.
because we had problems with that.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like,
So hard. Like, I will just state for this record that this person has never once to my face said, we're done. Never. I walked away from him the day after Christmas in 2025, five? I don't know, whatever year it was.
I
But
think
he never
2024.
said that to me. So it continued to keep me on this like path of like, maybe this fairy tale could happen
yeah,
or
like
whatever.
he never shut the door.
No, and it was like, well, the money and the this and the that. And after so long, you're just like, you know what? These little kids, they can't do this without me. And I need to get my shit together so that I can protect them. And that's ultimately like what I did.
So, what's going on with you now? What are your goals for the future? Like, we've dive in so deep, getting to know like all of like the bad that's happened to you. I want to hear some of the good that's like going on with you right now and the kids.
We have never been like this happy and at peace. And that is like a beautiful thing. And, you know, Ryder is like totally excelling in football, baseball, volleyball. Like, he's in all these sports and he loves it. And he's
I have to joke because like this kid who is like blind as a bat and like pocket sized is one of the most badass sport kids that I have ever seen. Like, it is so impressive. Like, he is literally small but mighty.
That's what I
And I
said.
just have to say that because
Yes.
he is so crazy.
He is, I mean, I could talk forever about Ryder, but he's just, that kid is God-given.
Oh, yeah.
God-given in every way. And yes, he excels at all of his sports. He is just the most kind soul.
Loving.
All of his teachers say that.
yeah.
All of the students, all the girls love Ryder. Like, they're in love with him.
yeah.
And I tell Ryder, if he was here right now, I'm like, Ryder, what's mommy's like number one rule when you meet a girl? He's like, she has to love sports. I'm like, that's right. Like, she has to love God and she has to love sports. But like, sports is a
Yeah.
big thing. It's like, we just, and it's so fun to be like that with him because we play all the time and we're competitive, and it's amazing. So he's doing great. I'm very happy with the school that they're in, and I really try to use community in a way that I haven't done for a while, and it does feel really good.
And they finally have like stability in their
Total
life.
stability.
Like, they've been going to the same school for
gosh,
a while. They have friends.
their
like,
home
they're
life is
in
great.
activities and sports and
Yes,
home
and their
and
church, like all the things that I knew were important. Like, and it also was for me too, like this routine. And you know, I'm like a routine person. Like, I just wanted to get them on like a really good path to set them up for like success. And we're going to have fallbacks and whatnot, but like, yeah, to try and set them up as best I can. I'm very, very, very proud of Ryder. And I'm very proud of like the little man that he is, because he is such a little man.
And he is totally a protector.
Yes.
Like, he's had that from even like back when you were going through the abuse. Like, there'd be moments where he would like try to get in the middle and all of that. And like, he still has those same characteristics now, like being protective over his friends or his sister.
Very much so. And Gia she's also doing great. Like, she's doing great in school. She's in like cheer now, and we have like our little group of friends. I was so used to having such a big tribe, but like now it's like I found this like small little tribe that like this mom and I are so tight, and like we live right by each other, and these kids are great, and like I just feel like we all work together for the betterment of the kids. And so that is like, honestly, I know I'm like business girl through and through, and I always will be. And business things are in the works, as you know, like they will be happening. It's negotiations, it's things like out of our control. But I do feel
you're
like
trying to set yourself up for a future again.
I have to. But the most important thing, I swear, I feel like is being a mom to these kids that deserved this the whole time, and I took it from them, and we took it from them. So for me, I would say at this moment, that is like my main job is to be the best mom that I can to make sure that Ryder and Gia like have everything that they need, and that they're just good people, and that they know right from wrong, and good from bad, and all that stuff, and just to guide them and help them and make sure that they're close to God too, you know.
What about future goals? And do you, after everything that you've been through, do you feel like you could ever like open up your heart to another person again? I know that's a very loaded question. Don't give me that look.
I'm like, God,
It's
coming
just
off the rails
but
now.
it's not coming off the rails.
I know.
It's like it's people that are in this situation, like, and you're like super fresh out of it. So I'm not saying like, are you going to start dating somebody tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's not what I'm getting at. It's like now that you have that mental clarity and you are, you know, a good enough distance away from that, like how, like, what are your fears going into a new relationship, and what would you like, what are the red flags that like you're gonna look out for when you're pursuing like opening up your heart again to somebody?
So the good thing is my heart is like I said on the last episode, my heart, I do believe my heart remained intact. I don't know how, but I feel like it is. I also feel like it's a little covered like with stone, a little bit like a thin layer of stone. So to give my heart away at this moment, I would say no, not a chance, because it's going to the kids.
Right.
But yeah, like ultimately that will happen when the time is right, and it's going to be tricky because there's just a lot of emotion and it is scary. It's just scary. And I think like, you know, I guess, these words that people said before that now I know are real, like trauma bond, right?
Yeah.
That when you're with someone since you're a kid, you know, it's just a weird thing. You know, like I said before, I will always love that person, not because he's the father of my kids, because I truly loved him. And that doesn't mean anything more than that. Like I have a love for that person, and that's just who I am.
Like you still have a love for that person, but you're not in love with that person. No,
but if he was like hurt or something, I would feel bad. Like for sure. Like I just would.
You and I are not one in the same.
I know, and it's annoying, but like I know but that's how I feel. But so it will be a very different love. Yeah. It will be a very different like situation. Yeah. Which is probably a good thing. But that it's almost like, I guess
how do you protect yourself going into a new relationship again? Like what are you gonna do different?
Just way more closed off, which is probably not a great thing, but way more closed off. I look for like the solid things though, like the consistencies in a person, like you're consistently doing and saying, like your words are aligning with your actions. This is what I'm interested in.
Super important.
This is what I'm interested in, because if not,
no more empty promises.
We're all, exactly. And the empty promises, because that trickles to the kids, you know, like, and again, who I'm dating, my kids are dating. So that's just the way it's got to be. But for sure, solid and just, I hate to say it, but like, the deception, you know, like I know that there was, you know, I'll just say like obviously the infidelity on both ends here in this marriage, but that's not what I mean by betrayal. When I say betrayal, I'm talking like the depths of betrayal that this person went to, probably to save himself, but to destroy me at the same time. That takes a very, very dark person. And those are the things that you have to be so careful of, because that stuff can be hidden. And it's just scary. And all the money in the world doesn't matter. Yeah. Because what matters is the people, that like your kids, yourself, your self-worth. Those things matter more than any material thing, any of that bullshit. Yeah. None of that matters. You can always get it again, and I will. Yeah. You know, none of that matters. What matters is like your faith, your good friends that you have that support you, and your kids, you know, like how are my kids ever going to grow up to be great humans if not for like us? This is what they have. This is this is the job. Yeah. And God is allowing me to have this job right now, so this is what I'm doing. You know, but yes, business is always just around the corner. And I feel like we are in a very good position right now where we can be in these negotiations with going forward with something, but we are not like chomping at the bit to get it right now. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be something magical. Right. Yeah. And it will happen, but it's going to happen like on our terms, you know, God's terms, I guess.
And if somebody has a certain wedding song, run.
Oh gosh. Do you want me to say it?
Yeah. Bring it up.
Our wedding song was a band. It's a lovely song, but it's a band by the name of Parachute. And the song title is She Is Love. And this didn't dawn on me until like so long later, but the opening line is, and it's the man singing, and he says, "I've been beaten down, kicked around, and she takes it all for me." That would imply like your previous relationship, right? So when I hear those words now, I'm like, wait a minute. You weren't beaten down and kicked around by your ex. I'm pretty sure you were the one doing all that too. So I don't know if that's like psychologically like the pattern of it scares me because I'm like, I don't really know if he'll ever see his actions or, you know, obviously there was never remorse in my marriage, not one time for anything. So I don't know how that plays, but it's just,
I mean, it really is like,
thing.
it's a lovely song. A lot of people pick it, but it's like,
it.
I feel
Do
like
they
it goes
pick it
back. It goes back to like the fact that like he always played the victim.
Yeah.
But he was never the victim. He was always the aggressor.
Yeah.
So it's just like goes back to that like frustration of it's like, how could you sit there and like play the role as like the victim when you're like the one that's doing all the bad things?
I don't know. And again, it takes two. Like, I think, I mean, I'm just going to say this now and we could cut it. I don't care. But there was a time we were together and someone, I don't know if they text you or me and you read it. And they were like, rumor has it like Sonny was the aggressor. Do you remember hearing that or seeing that? It was a client of mine.
Sounds familiar.
And I just like paid no mind to it. But I was like,
yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? But here's the thing with my ex. Here is the thing. This is straight up. If he wanted it to look that way, 1,000% it would.
Yeah, you keep painting
and so
any
that's
narrative
why,
you want.
That's why I just like didn't, because I'm like, there was a time we like rolled around on the garage, but they don't know what happened like in the house right before that.
The moments leading up to that, exactly.
But it's okay because if he like, and he did master of videos and all these things, like, okay, so go ahead, but I will have to live with that. But I was not the aggressor in this situation. I am less than half the size of this person. Absolutely not. And by the way, you don't get hit in the back of the head with a golf ball or kicked in the back or the stomach. You don't
or when
get
you're
hit,
already on the floor, you're not a
aggressor.
threat to anybody.
Never.
Yeah.
You know, and I assume people maybe were saying that because of the times that I like went after him. That was hard too. You know, I was like such a mess just trying to figure
you
out
had
like,
your
what
psycho
I
girl
did.
moments.
I totally did. And like, that's so known. I didn't know what to do. My world was falling apart and I didn't handle it well. And
I feel like even during those like psycho girl moments, it wasn't.
That's terrible.
How else do you want me to say it?
It's fine. Because I probably was. But
it wasn't like you were an aggressor. It was like you were
desperate.
chasing him because you were desperate to like,
and he knew,
fix things or apologize or take accountability. Like it wasn't like you were chasing him to go beat the shit out of him.
No.
It was never like that.
You know, I started catching on to that. That's one of the reasons I did walk away, because towards the end in San Diego, when again he was seeing me over like 2 criminal protective orders. I don't know how you're not scared. Like you, what? But I am.
It's like, even though they were court orders, he was basically like that piece of paper doesn't mean shit.
And they actually do. And I don't even know if I told you, in San Diego, he was like leaving me stranded like everywhere. But I started catching on. I was like, I think that he's leaving me stranded so that I could go run after him or call a million times. This was very like mind manipulation. So again, I would have to sit in the same place and just wait for him to come back. All the while he's driving by in his truck calling me every name in the book. Like it was just so degrading and awful. But I did start to kind of wake up there because I wasn't drinking. And I was like, this cannot be right. Like this is not normal at all.
Now that like all these things have happened, so much time has passed, your phone number got changed, you lost touch with a lot of people from your life. Like, are there people in your life that like, now that you're healed and you're doing better, like on this path, that like you want to bring back into your life that were in the past?
100%. Like of course, like my friendships, like I said before, you know, my friendships meant and mean the world to me. I've always been that kind of friend. I always will. Yeah. Your friendship means the world to me. My close friends, I absolutely would love them to be back in my life, and I don't know what that looks like. And sometimes I just gave it distance because a lot of them were afraid. They told me that they were afraid of him or that I would go back, and I understood that. And they have kids, and they, you know, I totally understand that. And then whatever other narrative was spun around, you know, parts could be true, parts weren't. But yes, I absolutely put a lot of value in friendships. I always have, and I would love those people to come back, and maybe they just don't know my number.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Hit her up, DM her.
I don't
I
know. Like, if
Yeah.
they don't, but yes, like, this is partially why we're doing this, to get myself out there.
I know.
And to,
I feel like that is like one of my biggest hopes for you going through this and like going public with it. Just know I am her wife now.
Yeah.
And whoever comes back into her life has to be screened by me, because I am super overprotective over everything that you've done.
Yeah.
But I do hope that, you know, you did have a lot of good people in your life.
really
And
did.
I really
Everybody.
do believe, because I did go through it with you through like a lot of the thick of it. I wholeheartedly believe that a lot of the people that walked away because of him.
I believe that.
And because they were at a place where they didn't know how to handle the situation.
Mm-hmm.
They were scared.
Yeah.
They didn't want to get involved. They knew that you weren't ready to leave.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is
They're
too
like-
much drama for me.
and they need-
I can't. I got to focus on my own mental
family,
health, my own
exactly.
family, and I just can't.
And I respect that, and we're all adults. And so, yeah, and thank you for bringing this up, because I would have never, but I absolutely terribly miss the friendships. And it has been a little bit hard with like no connection in that way. Like, obviously you and I are very close, but yeah, to have those connections that I've had since I'm 19 years old or whatever, or even younger, it's, you miss it, you know? And it's like, you want to like scream, but when people are ready, or I guess they're ready, but yeah, I do feel like I was made very difficult to find, I'm sure. And that's okay too.
I know we joked that a lot of people probably thought you were dead.
They probably did. They probably did.
Yeah.
That's like 100%. I'm sure they did. Or they were just like, her shit's not together.
Yeah.
And that's fine too. So, but like I said, you know, it's been, and that this time with the kids of healing was needed. And that was like, that was it. Like, nothing else mattered.
The best way to describe it is like, you were like in a cocoon.
100%.
You were like sheltered.
Didn't care.
And changing, and didn't care about anything else going on in the outside world. It was just you and those two kids and like going through this like internal journey. And like now you've become this like butterfly, and like you're not fully healed. You're not fully there yet.
But
and
I'm ready. Like, I'm just
you're
ready to like get back out there, and like, you know, with business coming, like I just am so ready to go forward in like a positive way. And it's taken so long to get there. But I do believe, like, I don't feel different than I did before, like way before. You know, it's like I'm still the same Sunny. I never really changed. I just went through this like really terrible situation.
Oh yeah, and you're always gonna have a battle. Like no matter what, you're always gonna battle your ex until your kids are 18.
I hope not.
Well,
my heart says no, but I don't know.
I know, but it's, you know, this person is always going to have some type of aspect in your life. He's always going to hold some type of aspect in your life. And it's just learning how to cope with that, but not let that send you back into a tailspin.
Let me just say this, and I don't know if people think this is crazy, but this is the truth. What I would love it for the family situation, if, and I know you're going to punch me in the face right now, but like no, you're not, but if like everyone's like better, okay? Like in 10 years, would I love to have like his side, our side, sit down as like a whole family? That there's like nothing more, and he knows it, that I would have wanted than that. There's been so much damage done, and it's not going to be anytime soon. But for our kids, for all 4 of those kids, like 1,000%, that is something that I would have done. I don't know, but that's like the fairy tale, you know, just so that the kids everyone could be like, we can do this, you know. I just don't know. I honestly don't know if he's strong enough to do that. I for sure could have, if there was like no orders in place at a very, very later time.
Right.
I hope we can be at our kids' weddings together, and you know, that would be heartbreaking if we couldn't, you know, but that might be. I just don't know. And I'm not going to fight a battle forever, but I will fight for these kids till the day that I die, for sure.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We are excited for other topics coming up and more positive things.
Yep.
Guest hosts, hopefully.
Yes.
And you can continue listening to the Human Sunshine podcast on all major platforms.
Thank you.